Most of us can remember where we were on the morning of September 11th, 2001. As the news reports began to filter in, Americans gathered in front of televisions to learn what was happening. One of the places at the center of that morning's attack was here at the Pentagon, headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense in Arlington, Virginia, just across the Potomac from our nation's capital.
So it's been about 20 years since I've been in Washington, and my objective today is to try to do some of the things that either weren't here the last time I was here or that I just didn't get to. So now I'm on my way to the Pentagon 9/11 Memorial.
I came here to the 9/11 Memorial at the Pentagon to pay my respects on a cold, gray Sunday morning in January. This is one of 3 places where people died in those attacks on that horrible Tuesday morning. A total of 184 innocent people perished here on that morning at 9:37 a.m. 59 innocent passengers aboard the American Airlines Flight 77 and another 125 workers inside the building which was struck by the 757 jet airliner. There are 2 different audio tours that you can follow as you visit this site to help you gain more insight into the symbolism of the monument and just to reflect on the gravity of that somber day. The memorial contains 184 little benches, one for each of the victims, with a pool of water underneath, and the honored person's name inscribed on the bench itself. All of the benches in the memorial are aligned in the same direction that the plane was flying as it careened into the structure, and they are arranged to create a linear timeline ordered by the victim's year of birth, ranging from 1930 up to 1998. The youngest victim was still only 3 years old on the day of the attack.
Then these lines along the wall here represent the birth year of each of the victims. They ranged in age from 3 up to 71. Now, the oldest victim was born in 1930. Picture there was of a girl who was 3 years old at the time that she perished.
That 3-year-old was Dana Falkenberg. She and her 8-year-old sister Zoe both were on that flight that morning, and Zoe's memorial is on the next timeline. The years are shown along the walls at the edge of the 2-acre memorial. All of the monuments which are in the same line honor victims who had been born in the same year. The individual memorials are not segregated between those who are on board the flight versus those who are in the building. Instead, all of the victims are remembered together in the same place. The only distinction between the 2 groups comes in the orientation of each of the individual benches. The benches commemorating those victims who are on the flight connect to the ground away from the building, while the benches of those who were working inside the Pentagon connect toward the building. Their names are etched on the end of the bench, so if you're reading the name and facing toward the Pentagon, it is the name of a victim who had been inside the building, and vice versa. There's an understated beauty to each of these individual tributes. You can see the small pool underneath each of them, and it appears that people regularly still attach photos and leave flowers nearly 25 years later. The tranquility of this solemn place is broken by the frequent sounds of jet engines roaring overhead. It's a bit unsettling to stand at this memorial as flights are taking off from nearby Reagan Airport. The jets climb right over this site. In a tragic coincidence, an inbound flight on approach to the same airport crashed with a helicopter nearby this site only about 10 days after I filmed this video. course, the flight which is memorialized here did not depart from Reagan Airport. Flight 77 had originated at Dulles Airport, some 25 miles to the west, and was directed here by the terrorists on board. If you want to visit this memorial and you're coming by metro, use either the blue line or the yellow line and exit at the Pentagon stop. The metro station is situated on the opposite side of the Pentagon from the location of the memorial. You're not allowed to cut through the Pentagon, so you'll have to walk around the periphery, following along a well-marked path which zags through the parking lots. The Pentagon is quite large, so the walk from the metro to the monument is about 600 yards, but certainly it's doable in about 10 minutes. And don't worry about getting lost, as there are plenty of signs to guide you, starting all the way back inside the metro station. In addition to those guide signs, you'll also find plenty of signs which prohibit taking photos of the Pentagon building itself.
There's lots of signs here that prohibit photography of the building, so I'll respect that and just show the walk.
It's almost impossible to film this walk and the memorial itself without at least catching the Pentagon in the background of some of the shots, but I did my best to comply. I certainly didn't overtly film the building. So that's my look at the Pentagon September 11th Memorial. It's a fitting tribute to those 184 souls who were taken so abruptly on that morning. Should you visit here? Well, personally, I think every American should come here at least once. I think this is hallowed ground. I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it with other people as well. And if you enjoy the content on my channel, I'd be honored to have you as a subscriber. But for now, this is Postcard Dan saying thank you for watching.